happen. I heard the sirens call, they wake me from my dream. I look outside my window, hear bloody screams. I ran from my home that night, left the city's red. I look back there in horror, my Lord, so many are dead. Oh, 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 oh. Words became my home, and for this land I'll stand and defend. I'll join up with the militia and promise to fight to the end. The war continues on now, fighting never ends. I feel America's dead now, all I have left are my friends. We will march back home now, a force of men like me. What shall we find in the ruins of my old home, that red city? Oh, 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 oh. Oh, 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 oh. I heard the sirens call, they wake me from my dream. I look outside my window, hear bloody screams. I ran from my home that night, left the city's red. I look back there in horror, my Lord, so many are dead. Most people are too lazy to do this, but it saves homeowners a fortune. Since you've caught the train you're on, now I know that you are gone. I can hear the whistle blow 100 miles. 100 miles, 100 miles, 100 miles, 100 miles. I can hear the whistle blow 100 miles. Lord, you're one, Lord, you're two, Lord, you're three, Lord, you're four. Lord, you're 500 miles from our home. 500 miles, 500 miles, 500 miles, 500 miles. Lord, you're 500 miles from our home. Not a word to ease my pain. Now there's only me to blame. Lord, how can I bear it all alone? All alone, all alone, all alone, all alone. Lord, how can I bear it all alone? It was you who chose to go down a road I didn't know, but my door is open always. Welcome home, to welcome home, to welcome home, to welcome home, to welcome home. Yes, my door is open, always welcome home. Since you've caught the train you're on, now I know that you are gone. I can hear the whistle blow 100 miles. Super easy way to make your mom happy. My parents have lived in the same house forever since dad passed away the start.
Лузі червона калина похилилася, чогось наша славна Україна зажурилася, а ми тую червону калину підіймемо, а ми нашу славну Україну перевернемо. Ой, у лузі червона калина похилилася,
with that, welcome to Stream, everybody. Everybody. Everybody, body, everybody. Welcome to the first annual spring break Stream-A-THON, day 4, which was yesterday, and day 5 today. Combining 2 streams into this shit. So, shall we go ahead and get started, people? Shall we? And also, just so y'all know, I will not be using any one news source for world news since I have an app on my phone named Ground News. Ground News is absolutely wonderful. Takes all the news from every single source and gives it to you straight up. But anyway, it is spring break down here where I live. So, let's go Riverside Homestead Life. And/or Snyder Reports. Holy. So, looks like we got a lot of videos to react to today. including warning sign, Americans going into debt to buy food. Holy. Holy. And you thought it couldn't get any worse from here. So, let's dive right in.
Millions and millions of Americans are struggling right now just to put food on the table, keep a roof over their head, and keep the lights on. But what has just been announced over the past several days is actually pushing the American people deeper into a debt that they don't even realize they are building. Today, I want to explain what's going on simply because the American people don't have this. They don't have money. So now we are hearing more and more retailers are using a different type of strategy in order to get you in the door and buying from them. I want to break down what's going on at this time, how millions of people are going to be impacted. At this time, how millions of people are going to be impacted. Some, it will be a positive impact, but for many, it's going to be negative. I'm going to explain more on this in just a moment, but before I do, all I ask is one thing. It takes 2 seconds. Go ahead, hit that like button if you enjoy these daily updates. And now, let's begin.
I would like to mention that I am not in any way affiliated or related with anyone I react to. Okay? Again, I am not affiliated or related with anyone I react to. I should have that somewhere. Let me see. Here it is. I am not in any way affiliated or related with anyone I react to. So there is that. With that, let's get right back into it.
The problem right now? Well, the big issue is the American people need money. We don't have it. We've been using credit cards. So what is the problem right? Well, the big issue is the American people need money. We don't have it. We've been using credit cards. We've been racking up just an immense amount of debt, and we can't pay it off. Delinquency rates are going up. Concern. But look at this. It says experts issue troubling warning about food prices in the coming year. More contingency planning. Now, I want to be very clear on something. Because of potential threat of tariffs, there's a chance that we see food costs increase. Because of the climate changing and the weather that we've seen, that's been a huge problem for many local farmers here in the United States. So because of those two things, the cost of food continues to rise. Well, here's the issue. The American people are struggling to pay for it. And there is a huge problem when it comes to food insecurity here in the United States. But there's a company that has a plan. Look at this. It says DoorDash will let users buy now and later for fast food, a possible worrying sign for the economy. So, DoorDash, you probably heard of them before. Uber Eats is another, kind of rival here. But you order something, let's say from McDonald's. Your DoorDash delivery driver will go pick it up from McDonald's, put it on their bike or in their car, stick it in their bag, whatever, and they'll take it to your location. They will deliver it for you. DoorDash, Uber Eats, okay? Those were companies that helped out millions of people during the last 4 to 5 years. They would go to a restaurant, they'd go to a fast food place, pick something up, because again, during the eat in restaurants for the majority of it, okay, for many, especially early on. So they'd go pick it up, okay, safely pick it up, deliver it to your doorstep, and you could have your favorite fast food meal. Guess what? They're bringing that back, okay? But in this case, they're going to offer buy now, pay later, which means you can pay and you will pay for it just like if you stuck it on a credit card, but they're not running your credit really. Okay, they're not doing all this other stuff. But here's where things get very interesting. That was announced just 3 or 4 days ago. This was announced just this morning. Affirm. They are the payment processor. Okay, Affirm announces JP Morgan Chase merchants can now offer installment loans at checkout. So a firm who does the buy now, pay later, they're partnering with JP Morgan Chase. And so anytime a retailer uses JP Morgan Chase, they can offer, and JP Morgan Chase as they're the ones that really process their payment, that's who handles everything. What they're now saying is, we're going to partner with them. So anytime a merchant, whether it's for clothing, shoes, it could be for some type of commercial product, right? It could be for materials, it could be for food as well. All those things. We can now offer buy now, pay later, which means you buy it today, you do not make a single payment until.
That sounds absolutely wonderful. But here's a problem. What if the restaurant or the fast food place wants you to pay? Then what are you gonna do? Because then DoorDash has offered you buy now, pay later. The fast food place wants you to pay. So that just all comes together into a huge mess. But hey, I'm interested in how this is going to play out. Okay. I'm interested. I'm interested in how this is going to play out.
Until maybe the next week, okay? And again, it goes on for 4 to 8 to multiple weeks. I want to show you this. It says consumers will have access to ranging from 30 days to 60 months, according to a firm. So here's the reason why I bring this up. JP Morgan does until maybe the next week, okay? And again, it goes on for 4 to 8 to multiple weeks. I want to show you this. It says consumers will have access to loans.
Bye-bye, ads. Been in a car accident? I don't give a fuck. Ads. Stop. These ads are about to get on my nerves.
Have access to loans ranging from 30 days to 60 months, according to a firm. So here's the reason why I bring this up. JP Morgan does handle the payments for many grocery stores. We are about to see the American people who are struggling to put food on the table, who've maxed out their credit cards. They're about to fall into deeper debt. What's about to happen is we are about to see millions of people. They're going to start paying for fast food. They're going to pay for pizza. They're going to pay for their everyday groceries using buy now, pay later. This is going to turn into an issue, a big issue. Now, I want to read you a little bit here. It's actually from the New York Times. Okay, this. It says DoorDash announces buy now, pay later partnership with Klarna. Now, this is exactly what I was talking about in just the last article. Okay, but I want to read this to you. It says right here, DoorDash customers can now take out a loan for a $40 order of burritos or a $50 pizza delivery. Think about that for a second. You can now take out a loan for $40 worth of burritos, $50 pizza. These are items that after a couple hours they're bad. The pizza you can probably eat the next day. The burritos I probably wouldn't eat it after 30 minutes. But like that's where we're headed. Millions of people are going to start using this.
No, it's
Millions of people use DoorDash every single day. Okay, DoorDash, they're racing here and there, picking up order. This is a huge business. Okay, this is now where we're headed. Is DoorDash is partnering with Klarna. Klarna is the kind of the rival to Affirm, but they're going to partner together. Okay, look at this though. It says Chuck Bell, an advocacy program director at Consumer Report, said buy now, pay later loans can be manageable for many people. He advised that these loans should be used selectively, that customers should be aware of when their payments are due and ensure that they have the money to pay the loans back. Here's the problem. For many people, they are not going to have the money. If you have cash, right? If you have cash, chances are you don't need to use buy now, pay later. You just don't need to use it. I have used buy now, pay later. The only reason why I used it that one time was not because I didn't have cash, wasn't because I didn't have a credit card on me. It was simply because I wanted to test it out. That was it. And I can tell you, it's a great service. It's nice to have the ability to go and get something. If you, especially when I used it, I did it with Amazon. I bought something on Amazon or a few things on Amazon, and again, I made little weekly installments. That was it. 4 weeks, paid off, good to go. Okay, didn't pay anything in interest. Right, it was zero interest. It was great. Right, buy now, pay later. It works, but for food, that's where I'd be somewhat skeptical, because now people are going to start ordering fast food because they have no money. They just want to eat. They're hungry. They just want to eat. So I want to give you this warning. We could see a huge issue here for DoorDash. But this is also going to push more and more Americans into debt. They're going to have a payment, another payment on top of their credit cards, their car, their rent. It's turning into an issue. I'll share this with you because even though this is big news and some people are very excited about it, I think this is going to go the opposite direction. And again, like this article from CNN Business says, a possible worrying sign for the economy. Yeah, it's not possible. This is a very worrying sign for the economy. So we'll see what happens moving forward, but that's what we know as of today. So again, thank you guys for watching. Consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys on the next one.
and that's pretty much it. Except for this. The Walking Man tornado. The Dead Man tornado.
Dead man walking. The most iconic lure.
Lure. Lost media. The dead man walking.
Quick tornado story. So a few years back, my friend Carson and I were hanging out and we're talking about tornadoes because he's really into tornadoes as well. We're talking about all the tornado topics, more, Joplin, and James Spanley, he goes, yo, how crazy is that dead man walking photo from the 1997 Gerald F5 tornado? And I'm like, what are you talking about? What? And he's like, dude, you haven't seen it? And I'm like, no. So he pulls up the photo on his phone and he shows me this terrifying photo of a tornado that looks like a monster walking across a field. These two inner vortices representing legs and this horizontal vortice representing a scythe-like arm. Truly terrifying. Now Carson specifically said that this was a still photo from a home video. And it does kind of have that grainy video look to it, that VHS look to it. And I was like, okay, well, I want to actually see if it's like walking. Like, does it actually show a walking like motion in the video? I mean, I had so many questions. So later that night, I tried to look it up. I tried to search for the dead man walking tornado video, and I went down a major rabbit hole. So that's what we're talking about today. We're going to over one of the most tornado photos of all. Is this truly a still taken from a video? Who took the photo/video? Where was this photo/video taken? And we'll also talk about other famous dead man walking tornado videos, including Joplin, El Reno, Coleman, and Xenia. But before we do that, be sure to subscribe for more tornado content and other weather phenomena here at Soil Studios. Let's get into the video. Okay. First things first though, we should probably talk about the 1997 Gerald tornado event as a whole, because it's actually a pretty unique tornado event. Early in the morning on May 27, 1997, the Storm Prediction Center issued a moderate risk for severe weather over central and eastern Texas. However, the main concern at the time was hail and wind, not tornadoes. This was mostly due to low wind shear in the region. However, very unique conditions involving the positions of a dry line, cold front, gravity wave, as well as high humidity helped to create a highly unstable atmosphere, which in turn led to the creation of several supercells and tornadoes. The Storm Prediction Center issued a tornado watch for eastern Texas at 12:39 p.m. and then at 3:25 in the afternoon, a small rope tornado began to drop down just west of I-35 near the town of Gerald. The unique atmospherics of the supercell allowed it to be easily visible due to both a clear atmosphere and slow-moving nature. Most tornadoes move at speeds of 20 miles per hour. However, this tornado was only going 5 to 10 miles per hour. Due to the high visibility, many motorists on I-35 actually pulled over at a rest stop to watch this thin rope tornado slowly make its way to the southwest. One person at the rest stop was Scott Guest from K-View. Sky captured some amazing footage of the early rope stages of the tornado. As the tornado got closer to Gerald, it briefly weakened, but then rapidly strengthened into a large wedge. You can clearly see how quickly it strengthened by looking at Scott Guest's footage from the rest stop. One moment it's a thin rope, and the next he's filming this massive, large wedge tornado. It was around the transitional period where the dead man walking photo was captured. At this point, the tornado was at peak intensity, and it barely dodged the main section of Gerald. However, it would unfortunately directly hit the subdivision of Double Creek Estates around 348. It was here that the tornado claimed 27 lives and caused some of the most intense damage ever seen by a tornado. Do you want to know what F5 damage looks like? It looks like Gerald. Well-built homes completely under foundations. Deep trenches were dug into the grass. Truly insane damage. Had wind speeds close to 300 miles per hour, while others claimed the wind speeds were around 260 and that the intense damage was caused by the tornado's slow movement. So let's go back to the photo real quick. This was taken right before it went into double eights. So this was literally the moment before 27 people would lose their lives, which really just adds to the terrifying nature of the photo. But where did this myth and legend start? Where did it begin? Well, the origins of this specific photo being called the Dead Man Walking tornado photo can be traced to a Channel 5 documentary that aired on TLC back in 1999. About a third of the way through the documentary, they showed this clip.
An ancient Native American legend speaks of the dead man walking. If you see him in a tornado, you
If you see him in that tornado, what? If you see him in a tornado, what? If you see him in a tornado, what are you supposed to do? What does that mean? The dead man walking. So this is a whole rabbit.
you are about to die.
Wait. Let me hear that all the way through. If you see the dead man walking inside of a tornado, you are about to die? What?
On TLC back in 1999. About a third of the way through the documentary, they showed this clip.
An ancient Native American legend speaks of the dead man walking. If you see him in a tornado, you are about to die.
Wait.
The townsfolk of Gerald can
Wait a minute. If you see him in a tornado, you're about to die? Is that what I just heard? I am sorry. That is quite unnerving. Holy fuck. That is absolutely unnerving. If you see the dead man walking in a fucking tornado, you're about to die. That is creepy as hell. That is fucking creepy as hell. I am sorry. Bro, that is creepy as all fuck. So if you see the dead man walking in a fucking tornado, you're about to die. Are you fucking serious? Are you serious? Again, that is absolutely unnerving. And I'm just hearing that for the first time, and it's still unnerving. Holy. So this is actually a legend. Holy. And if you see him in a tornado, you're about to die. Holy. Well, my oh my. Let's continue and hope I don't get unnerved from this. I'd rather not.
Can now see the arms and legs of a multi-vortex tornado approaching. The dead man has just walked into Gerald.
If you see the dead man walking, you are about to die. Wow. Terrifying.
Yes,
But is it
very
even true?
terrifying.
Is this an actual Native American legend? Well, actually, yes. I've had several Native American.
It is quite terrifying. Quite terrifying. Very terrifying to me. Holy.
Commenters on previous videos talk about how their grandmother or grandfather would tell them the dead man walking tornado legend. So this is indeed a story that has been retold and passed down for several generations. I do plan on doing a Native American history of tornadoes video, just FYI, so do subscribe. So what actually causes it to look like a man/monster walking? This illusion is caused by the strange, shape-shifting nature of a multi-vortex tornado. A multi-vortex tornado is a rare type of tornado that contains several powerful subvortices, aka suction vortices, within the main tornado itself. Our brain is very good at personifying different shapes, so sometimes these multi-vortex tornadoes can actually appear human to us. Now, usually only the most powerful EF4 and EF5 tornadoes are multi-vortex. So the legend of if you see a dead man walking, you are about to die is actually kind of based on truth, because if you're in that close of a proximity to an EF4 or EF5 tornado, you're in a really dangerous situation. So where did this photo/video come from? Well, of course, I started off by looking for the footage on YouTube. The first video that pops up when you search dead man walking tornado footage on YouTube is the dead man walking tornado documentary that we spoke of earlier. And I watched the entire documentary for a video version of the photo, only to come up empty. However, I did notice that during the actual dead man walking sequence, there are other stills from the exact location. You can tell by the trees and stuff, photos. So there's no video, however, we do have multiple images at this point. So what else pops up? Well, below the documentary is a video uploaded by Angel Escabales.
Holy crap. Again, that is quite unnerving and quite terrifying. So if you see the dead man walking in a tornado, a wedge tornado of all things, you are about to die. I want viewers. I want you to let that sink in for a moment. Is that unnerving or what? Is that terrifying or what? If it's not terrifying, I don't know what is.
Escabales Jr., titled dead man walking home video. So I'm thinking, yes, here it is. However, if you watch the video, which was featured in Storm Warning episode 7, is definitely a different location from the actual photo. I mean, there's like no trees in this video. I did notice that one commenter stated, "You can see the dead man walking multi-vortex tornado at 145 and 152. I doubt we'll ever have more info on the original dead man walking picture, but those couple of frames in this video prove that Gerald was indeed a multi-vortex tornado." So if we go to 145, you can see that this definitely correlates with this specific image from the documentary. And if we go to 152, you can actually see the dead man walking figure's legs very clearly. It's pretty far away, but you can still see the 2 legs. There is no sign of the scythe arm, however. At this point, I really wanted to find the original video, so I put my nose to the grindstone and I started searching high and low for the footage, looking through forums, videos, credits. I even joined the local Gerald Facebook group looking for answers. On one forum I read this: "I saw the actual video. You clearly could see this in the video, and perhaps is the most disturbing one I have seen due to what it looks like. No, I do not believe it is a dead man walking, but the impression sticks with you. Try to find and view this yourself." One person from another forum actually claimed to have taken the dead man walking video. However, I'm a little suspicious. I even hopped on a Google Earth trying to find the exact location of the photo by using the tree positions and the fence. My efforts would prove to be unsuccessful. At one point, I had given up hope until I came across a specific forum on Stormstalker. John asked the question, "Was there a documentary that documentary that aired on TLC a while back that featured a video of the vortex breakdown, the transition from rope to wedge, and the so-called dead man walking, where the suction vortices are clearly visible? If so, is it available anywhere?" Of course, he's talking about the TLC documentary that we were talking about earlier, but one reply was pretty interesting below. Michael stated, "I don't know of any video, but the original Time magazine article on the Gerald tornado has a photo of it. It was taken by Scott Beckwith. I still have the original magazine article." And of course, I found the exact Time magazine article. The article comes from the June 9th, 1997 issue and is found on page 34. The article is titled "Nowhere to Run" and it was written by Belinda Luscombe. The article goes over the Gerald tornado and the tragedy of Double Creek Estates. But if you look on the side, you can see the dead man walking photo. And below it says, "Photos courtesy of Scott Beckwith." Finally, we have a name. Scott Beckwith was the man who took the photo. Scott Beckwith's photos are shown in the margins in chronological order with the caption, "Photographs taken over 8 minutes. The tornado at first appeared thin, but then it gathered strength and seemed to grow at least in triplicate until it became destroyed at Gerald, Texas." So the case has been solved. We now know that the infamous dead man walking photo is just one photograph that's part of a larger tornado photograph sequence. It is very interesting to look at the development of the tornado from Scott's perspective. The tornado appears to be heading straight toward him as it stays in the same general spot on the horizon. I wanted to figure out exactly where his location was, so I was able to go online and I found out that he took the photos as an employee at the Gerald Farm Supply. Gerald Farm Supply is now out of business, but I was able to locate the address on Google to see if any of the trees or the fence were the same from 1997. The first thing I noticed is that the original Gerald Farm Supply building is completely gone. However, I used the old time machine technique and I was able to confirm that this was indeed the correct position. I surveyed up and down the road trying to find the exact spot. I noticed that there was this little metal fence thingy in the photographs, so using that I was able to find the spot where the photos were taken. And yeah, the landscape does appear to look very similar. Now, the in the sequence, tornado at its most violent point. The foreground is completely different. Well, that's because the tornado actually crossed in front of Scott slightly to the left and ended up in this position, which tragically correlates over the exact spot of Double Creek Estates. I wanted to know more about Scott Beckwith and his famous photograph sequence, and I came across this book, Gerald, by Mary H. Hodge.
Again, that is quite terrifying. That is absolutely terrifying. Holy. um, um,
Gerald by Mary H. Hodge and Priscilla S. King. I purchased the book and it was very interesting. You should check it out if you want to know more about the event and the town of Gerald. I purchased this book because it goes more in depth with the Scott Beckwith photo sequence. In fact, several of his photos that I had never seen before. He was even able to capture a moment when the condensation funnel completely disappeared between the rope stage and the multi-vortex stage. Look at this amazing photo. Scott Beckwith was even able to capture photos of the insane damage that occurred at Double Creek Estates. So much 1997 Texas tornado is unique. The slow speed, the opposite direction it traveled from most tornadoes, the fact that it was so insanely powerful, just the weird conditions in general, and that's why footage of this tornado is so important. It truly was a strange meteorological event, and the more knowledge we have about it, like footage, the better we can predict something similar happening in the future. Angel Escobales Jr. has done an exceptional job trying to piece together the 1997 Gerald tornado, and I highly recommend you check out the channel. One video is completely dedicated to finding the missing Gerald tapes. The conditions were perfect for filming this, so it's likely that many people have home videos of this and are just sitting on them or they're buried somewhere. So if you have footage of this, be sure to upload it to YouTube, send me a link, or send me the video, or send Angel the video. The dead man walking tornado phenomena isn't unique to Gerald. There are several other prominent examples with other tornadoes. This footage was captured during the Joplin F5 tornado that occurred on May 22nd, 2011. These vortices look like monster legs on the Joplin. Another prominent example is from the 2011 Coleman F5 tornado that happened only a few weeks earlier on April 27th. There are several moments during this video that show a walking-like motion. This dead man walking gif was captured during the 2013 El Reno tornado, and there are several photographs of the 1974 Xena F5 tornado that show leg-like features. So that's the story of the dead man walking tornado. This really is a real-life monster, and that's what's so intriguing to me. People love to talk about made-up monsters and scary fairy tales and strange lore, but this is real, and it's terrifying. So if you see the dead man walking, go to the lowest level of your house in the most interior room. For real. Thanks for watching.
And thus, if you see the dead man walking, you are about to die. Me just saying that is absolutely unnerving. Absolutely terrifying. Holy.
Me just hearing that is terrifying.
Terrifying, yes. Terrifying, yes. Unnerving, yes. Calming down, hell no. So again, that is unnerving. That is absolutely unnerving. Holy. Absolutely unnerving. But anyway, that's going to be it for part 1 of today's stream. No shim, no game, peace out. See y'all in my next stream, which will be at 2 o'clock. And always remember, only chill vibes, see you Viking. Really? See you Spider Nation. Peace.